Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video, I've got your gameplay for the IKV-91. This is a rank 4 battle rating 7.3 light tank for the Swedish Ground Forces tech tree. And this vehicle, even at 7.3 BR, might be a little bit low. And it actually just saw an increase from 7.0 BR, and I still feel very much powerful in this thing. So it actually features a very nice Heat FS shell that puts out 400 millimeters of armor pen, and it also features a laser rangefinder. All of this on top of a very nice power to weight ratio of just a touch over 20 horsepower per ton, which when mated with this vehicle is actually very fast. This thing feels almost as fast as a light tank once you get up to top BR, top tier. So it is very quick. It handles that power extremely well, and overall, with the exception of just negligible armor, I mean, as you can see here, it's got terrible armor that will hardly even stand up to HMGs when at an angle. This thing is really nice. Also, it has a commander sight all the way down at 7.3 BR. So that said, I really love this vehicle. I am stoked to bring it out and show you guys some gameplay for it. And one of my favorite things about these small tech trees, like Sweden, for example, is the fact that they made these very particular designs, a niche design, because they're not going out necessarily and fighting wars. They might sometimes export vehicles, but you have vehicles like this, the IKV, or the Stridsvagn 103, I think it is, where the S-tank, the wedge tank, and it's just made for a very particular type of warfare, or made to fit a particular nation's resources, or industrial capability, whatever the case may be. And Sweden is just so fun because of that, and that's why I'm looking out for the Hungarian subtech tree, and also why people love the South African subtech tree. So that said, let's get into a few matches here, see what we could do, but man, oh man, this thing is awesome. Let's get into it. Okay, I see an enemy up there. Time to take a shot, and got a nice hit. He definitely does not see me down here. Let's try. Ooh, I thought he was got back up. Idiot of me, huh? So, let's try to shoot one more time. I was hoping just maybe randomly I was going to hit the car there, and hopefully that would be destructible. But the more I look at it, the less I think it's actually destructible. And yes, I did just cross that entire body of water, and no one shot at me. Okay, I've got a different position here. Same result, got the engine this time. Does he even know that I am here? Yes, he does. I got the cannon breach. Let's hope for some positive results. Got the kill. Drop that in. From what distance? That was 1,200, however many kilometers or meters or whatever people in Europe use for measuring distances. So, let's try this. Ooh, buddy. Not too shabby. Got 2 long-range kills. That's one of the great strengths of this vehicle in particular. It's phenomenal laser rangefinder. And by phenomenal, I don't mean it's any better than any other laser rangefinder in Warthunder. However, it's one of the earliest and lowest BR vehicles in Warthunder to have a laser rangefinder. And just simply because of that, because it has that technology at such a low BR, that in and of itself is phenomenal, and I love it. Okay, got the radiator. Wait a second, that looks like an enemy. Like, looking at him, like, what the heck? Ah, just barely missed him. Got the kill. There we go. 4 kills thus far, and a radiator strike. Not too upset. Not that radiators do anything, because they don't, but it's a at least a solid shot in the back of a vehicle. 4 kills, 1 assist. Okay, got an enemy right there. And got the cannon breach. Not too upset with that. Looked like a leopard 1. So I'm thinking I'm gonna die real soon. I'm on a control point as a light tank. There we go. So that said, let's get into the next match. I got 4 kills, 1 assist, and 1 possible assist. Not bad. Man, I don't know about you guys, but in my opinion, the IKV-91 is one of the best vehicles relative to battle rating in Warthunder. Okay, we got some enemies there. See if I can get a hit. And I can! Yes, please! None too shabby-dabby. This vehicle, probably one of its strongest aspects is going to be its laser rangefinder. I mean, as you just saw right there, I mean, with that first hit at least, I really damaged that vehicle. What did I do? I killed this gunner, and I think I set him on fire, which is just gnarly, right? I mean, that takes somebody out of combat for at least a few seconds, and then possibly damages other parts or crew, which is also very, very useful in destroying an enemy. So between that, between the laser rangefinder, the heat FS, and also, of course, the mobility on this vehicle is wunderbar. This vehicle is just awesome. I mean, the fact that it was at 7.0 baffled me. And to a point, even still, 7.3 is a bit low maybe for this thing. I mean, you let me know in the comments below what you guys think, but 7.3 VR is still probably, at least in my opinion, a little low for this type of vehicle. I mean, this is more or less like a modern vehicle put into early to mid Cold War BRs, and it is just, I mean, it's not an entirely modern vehicle, but it's pretty damn close, if not exactly. So I don't know if that's an enemy there. Kind of looks like it. Oh, it was perfect. Okay, now I can see the outline. There we go, got a tank destroyed. Tiger 2P. Not too bad. Tiger 2 dead. More like it. Okay. I think, oh, whoa, I just accidentally zoomed out. I'm pretty sure this is how you want to use this vehicle. As a flanker and then a sniper, because if you can get behind enemy lines without them ever seeing you, that's really, I mean, how this thing benefits, because it has the heat FS that does not get affected by range, so you don't have to worry about any sort of range with this thing. Okay, that's dangerous. Hopefully he... Okay, he didn't see me. Not immediately, at least. But this thing does not get impacted at all by range, so heat FS is just as good at 10 meters as it is at 1,000. And 2,000 as well, because of the type of warhead that it has on it. Projectile, the explosive. And between that, between its its fast speed, and of course, its laser rangefinder, this thing is just made for sniping and flanking. So it's just a wonderful, wonderful tank in that regard. Okay. Is that behind? Okay, good. I thought he was almost, I almost thought that he was behind some sort of, like, fence. Ooh, but I guess not. Ooh, horizontal turret drive. Let's hope he can't hit me. Okay, perfect. Got 5 kills. I am happy with this. Woo! Buddy. These guys are they were neglecting their flanks. Wow, 5 kills, real easy, real fun. That is the power of heat FS, mobility, and a laser rangefinder if there ever was one. So let's get into one final match, see how we can do, but that was a really, really good match. So I had a little bit of a hiccup with this last match, unfortunately, in that my audio didn't record. My voice didn't record over the audio, because there was a previous clip in which I muted the audio, and I just didn't put it back on, for whatever reason. But no biggie, the important thing is that I actually captured this match in the first place, because little did I know when I was actually playing this match, but yes, this is a nuke match, that's right, IKV-91 nuke match, and it all starts right around here, that little house right there. There are a lot of tanks that you'll be seeing in just a few seconds, and you can see the absolute power of the heat FS when combined with a laser rangefinder and scouting. So right there, I take out the driver and the gunner. Not a problem. That is one of the best shots you can have against any tank, especially of that era when commanders can't take over for the gun. And then I go for an IS, what is that, 6 or 3? IS 3 rather, I think, right? And then of course you have your Ferdinand. I start pummeling that, but the first shell doesn't go through. But I mean, you will see an absolute procession of vehicles in just a few seconds. But I get the Ferdinand there, and throughout this entire time, I'm more or less trying to scout as well. Took out the Ferdinand, I got an IS-2, then you have all 3 of those vehicles. I'm like, holy guacamole. Took out the loader and gunner, got the assist, scouted again, that guy missed, hit this guy, didn't do really any damage because it only hit the outside really of the tank. Move up a little bit. I think this is a much better shot against him. Yep, got the gunner because that was a Tiger 2P rather. So because it's Tiger 2P, I had a really, really easy time hitting that gunner, relatively speaking. Move up a little bit, and I think I might get the kill here. Meanwhile, I still have that IS-3 still looking at me. Scout him again. I forget this is anything. Okay, I got the commander there. Then I have another Tiger 2. It's like, this is what the Russians freaking feared, man, back in World War II. They feared exactly what I'm looking at here, but they didn't have the IKV-91. Got his loader and horizontal turret drive, so he couldn't really do much against me. And then, boom, got a, what, 4th or 5th kill there? And I tried hitting it again, but I hit that tree. So nothing really all too great there in that regard. But as you can see, I mean, just ridiculous. Also, sorry for if there was any shudder when it comes to the recording of this gameplay. I genuinely don't mean for that to happen. But man, oh man. Then there's another Tiger 2 right over there. I hit him right in the cannon barrel. Just, again, phenomenal, because these guys were just lining up to die. Just lining up to die, and it just made my life so damn easy. Okay, there we have an IS-6, and I missed because I think it may have been because of the blast that he caused, or maybe it was because my cannon was still adjusting to the laser rangefinder, which, again, is ridiculous. This thing has a laser rangefinder. That should simply not be. But I think I missed a shot or two here. You'll see a BMP come out in just a few seconds. But I did at least hit that IS-6 and do some pretty substantial damage. But he also got me pretty bad there. And for a while, I actually thought I was going to die here, quite honestly. And I mistakenly took myself off repairs, of course, because, as one does by accident when they're all hyped up. Missed the BMP, but I still scouted him. And that's one of the great things about this vehicle when it comes to the scouting function. You can hit, like, you can get a lot of extra points just from scouting. But, of course, it's not really everything. But you do get kills. You do pretty well every now and again. But I missed that, unfortunately. Then I'll try to shoot through the crack in the building there once I get my ammo back. But as you can see, I've only got 9 shells left. None of the ready rack. My loader's dead. So this thing went from like a 7-second reload, a little bit less than 7 seconds really, to terrible. You know, especially for a light tank. Got another kill assist. Then I'm going to come around here, kill this leopard. Boom, bada boom. Easy kill. Got lucky, kind of, in a way. Then there will be the BMP that we saw before. He will almost hit me. He'll be more or less lined up. And then, actually, no, I thought he was more lined up. Got him. And then we take the base. So I've got, like, what, 6 kills at this point? Like 4 or 5 assists. Then we take the cap point. And we should be able to... I'll see an SPAA off in the distance over there, which will be my final kill, I think, while getting the nuke. Okay, there we have our SPAA, the final sacrifice that we have, if I'm not mistaken. Now I shoot him, hit the gunner and the loader. Nice shot. So these shots, even though I do have a laser rangefinder, when you're not dealing with the highest velocity shells, it can be a little sticky. You know, sometimes, of course, that can be a bit difficult to do. But as you can see, at this point, I realize I've got enough for a nuke. Got 7 kills and however many assists. And, you know, well, actually, yeah, at this point, I realize. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Screw it. Let's try out, you know, because I don't see any enemy planes anywhere. So this is it. Like, just watching, this is the first time, bear in mind, that I'm actually rewatching this footage. This is my first nuke ever, and I don't care what anyone says about it. That is totally rad, man. I wish everybody could have a nuke in Warthunder. It is just awesome. And actually, one thing is, and I improvised it while I was thinking I was talking to everybody, I actually was saying that that this is actually the silver plate version of the B-29, which is actually a modification of the B-29 to be able to carry nuclear bombs. So they were not necessarily nuclear bomb capable right out of the factory. Rather, they had to go in for more modifications after they were already built. And I think, just based on some real quick reading on it, it took like 6,000 man-hours in order to modify a B-29 from the factory to be able to carry a nuclear bomb. Because, I mean, overall, or after all, I mean, the B-29 costs more than the nuclear bomb to actually create, the B-29 program. And so, in order to actually further create a B-29 that was ready for nuclear bombs, they had to modify it even more. Because, I mean, after all, the B-29 was already stretching the limits of technology for the time. I mean, this plane, when it was first released, was not good. You know, I mean, the engines were catching fire. It saw a huge mortality rate. And if I'm not mistaken, actually, far more B-29s were lost due to mechanical failure than they ever were to enemy action during World War II. So you had this really unreliable plane because it was already pushing the boundaries of science and technology, and then they even had to specially modify that to be able to carry the nuke, which is what I'm doing here. And of course, as soon as I can get that nuke going, oh man. Like, you have to put your foot on the gas, on the throttle, go into WEP mode 100% to be able to do this. And then, boom, there it is. The deal is sealed. The nuke has been dropped. It's just so beautiful. Like, look at that. Look at that. 3, 2, boom. And that's a victory. But that being said, I know this was a little bit different from my normal final gameplay. Typically, I like to record live during the actual match. But, yeah. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Please, of course, like, comment, subscribe. But look at this stat line as it comes up. Ain't that a beaut? Take care, everyone.